Hi everyone, and welcome back to ESC Fan TV. I'm Stuart Wilders. I'm your host for this evening. Welcome to those that join us this afternoon and are joining us again this evening, and for those that are joining us for the first time today. Don't forget you can catch us on YouTube at any time. Our subscribers are growing. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you very much for joining us. You can also listen to us on podcasts. We're available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, and Stitcher, not Snitcher as Tom calls it. You can download us and listen to us. The show from Friday went live this morning. It's a great show. It's a good hour and a half. Go and listen to it. Go and give us a 5-star review and write some really nice comments about the team and the content that we are giving you. All for you, just for you, and no one else but you. So what's on tonight's agenda? We are going to talk about semi-final 1 rehearsals. First round of rehearsals. We're going to get into our winners, our losers, who we thought progressed, who we thought regressed. That's the general topic for tonight. But let's start by saying hello to my guest. We'll start with saying hi to Tom, my co-host. Hey, Tom.
Hey, Stuart. You all right?
Yeah, I'm very well. How are you?
I'm okay. Do you know what? Eurovision season, full swing. Isn't it great? And it's a bank holiday weekend over here as well. So I can just literally spend my time glued to YouTube for it. And the best thing is Tel Aviv's 2 hours ahead. So I can have a lie-in and still not miss anything.
Yeah, it's great actually, especially over the bank holiday and in the UK on a Monday, the week of the start rehearsals. Because let's face it, we all forget about the rehearsals, and when they start, no one does anything but watches rehearsals. Isn't that true? And I'll ask my panel whether that is the case or whether I'm just talking rubbish. Hey, Denise, how are you?
Hi, good evening, Stuart. I'm very well, thank you. From sunny Devon.
Sunny Devon. Is it still sunny?
It is, yeah. It's lovely, really nice.
Excellent. And have you been watching rehearsals, Denise?
I certainly have. Yeah, I just caught the last few this afternoon. Yeah, really impressed. Really
Good.
Super excited about it all. And I just get really excited because this time next week I'll actually be there. So
Yes, you will.
I'm so excited, so super excited.
And welcome back to Gemma. Gemma was on this afternoon's show. If you haven't watched it, you can catch it on YouTube. Hey, Gemma.
Hey, how you doing?
Gemma's also going to Tel Aviv, but currently in Cyprus.
I am. It's not so sunny anymore.
No, what's the time there? 9:30 at night, roughly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good you could join us again. Hey, Martin, how are you?
Fine, thanks. It's, overcast in Bristol, but there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been only really catching, I suppose like most of us, the Eurovision.tv snippets and getting an idea of what's going on and seeing the odd blog of some of the websites, seeing what they're saying about it, really.
Yes, absolutely. Lots going on, and most bloggers now are talking. A couple of days in from the press centre. We were saying on this afternoon show even that actually there was an issue with a couple of rehearsals. They weren't being broadcasted through to the press centre. Apparently, Tamta's first rehearsal couldn't be heard. So you can imagine getting up really early, getting to the press centre, sitting down with all your laptop ready to go, and all of a sudden no audio. Great, what a start to the day. Anyway, let's say hi to Nicholas all the way from Denmark. Hey, Nicholas.
Hello. Every single year I say to myself, I'm not going to watch the rehearsals. Then I watch them anyway. So this year I decided, you know what, I'm not going to say it to myself. I'm just going to watch it.
And hi to Oben. Oben, you're going to have to remind me where you are today. Are you in Cyprus? Are you in Istanbul? Where are you?
Istanbul today.
Istanbul. Well, welcome back
again.
to the show.
This is the second time I'm telling you this today. Come on, Stuart.
It's because I got a really bad memory, and it's been at least 2 or 3 hours since last time we spoke.
True. I'll give you that. But still excited. Nothing changed.
So listen, Oben, I'm not going to move from you. The floor is yours. I want you to tell me who you think impressed in the semi-final 1, and who you think maybe needs to shape up for the second round of rehearsals.
So I'm gonna give it straight. I think we all will agree. Australia, Kate Miller-Heidke.
Yes.
Right. It's an amazing improvement, and I put her barely going through to the final, like 9 and 10. But now today, when I shuffle things around with my ranking, I put her second place for my semi-final. It was a huge improvement. I still don't think that at the end of the day, she will win. I don't really think about it that way, but she's going to put an amazing show. And from the national final, she moved way beyond her performance skills. But the least impressed is Tamta. I really thought she will bring a little bit more. Right now, she's not carrying this winner vibe around her, but she's an amazing ambassador for us Cypriots. She is representing us. She's making us proud. She's showing who we are, and it's all it matters at the end of the day.
And look, it's the first round of rehearsals. You know, we're privileged to actually get to watch them. You know, I remember a time maybe 5 years ago where you couldn't see the first round of rehearsals. They were banned because typically the singers are finding their feet, they're finding their rhythm. You know, and they're going on cold. This is the first time on the stage in Eurovision, and the world is watching. So, yeah. Sorry, you were going to respond.
No, I was just going to say, no, I'm not. I haven't lost my hope of winning. I still carry it. But when I'm thinking of that, I am least impressed out of my expectations with the highest expectation. It's definitely Tamta for now.
Thank you, Oban. Denise, what's your take on what you've seen so far? Who's impressed you the most?
A bit like Oban, you know, I was kind of thinking about what were Australia going to do, but you know, from what I was hearing, I think it's very good. I was really impressed. I'm just having to think now. I was really impressed with Greece. Sorry, Greece. I was unsure about the staging because I think at this stage it's all about the staging. And I also want to say this is the first rehearsal. So, you know, everybody did a great job. Fantastic. Standouts, as Oban said, yeah. Australia. I am impressed by Cyprus. I was wondering what she was going to do. Based on the video, I had no idea how she was going to present it. So I think it's very sexy. I think it'll attract people, certainly. But I also thought Serbia blew it out of the park. I thought she was, I am right, Serbia was fantastic. Her voice is just amazing. Don't think she'd do anything much, but I thought she really did a great vocal, really great vocal.
Thank you, Denise. Martin, your take?
Well, I'm pleased that so many people have now joined me and Gemma on the Australia Appreciation Society.
And me, just like to say, and me.
Because right from the national final, I was going, wow, this is amazing. So many people going, I'm not going to qualify. Well, what's all that then? And wow, you know, and today, wow, I mean, I've only seen a snippet, but I've seen pictures as well. And it looks absolutely amazing. And as long as all the camera angles are perfect, then this is, you know, got a real chance of doing the business. Odds have been slashed. I think even earlier today, I still get 100 to 1. It's now 50 to 1 max, probably 30s. So yeah, I mean that's the highlight for me. I thought Tamta was all right actually, but then I'm a straight guy. Yeah, what can I say?
You were listening with your eyes, were you, Martin?
Maybe. Greece, Catherine, just, I mean, it sounded perfect. It's still a bit odd. I know you had a thing about the video, and they've obviously moved something from the video into the staging, and I think it might make more sense when we see the full 3 minutes rather than the 10 seconds that you get. I mean, the other ones, just looking through some of the other ones, and I think from the first day, a lot of the acts actually did what they've done before and what we probably expected of them. I agree with Denise about Serbia with Navina. She was absolutely amazing. In a way, looks though she's just replicated what she's done in the national final, which was brilliant. And Joshi Papai looked pretty good as well. I don't think there's any other standouts the other way. Poland looked a bit messy, possibly, but again, you can't, you know, they had a really good use of the backdrop with all the singers' faces behind them. So that's it. But it's really difficult to tell from what you see on Eurovision.tv. You know, you get a general impression, and you sort of then add in the bits from their description and from anybody else's description. So. Yeah.
So, I mean, the press got to vote, and I'm just looking at the press votes now. And can we just put into context, the press are largely fans. They're no different to you or I. This is their view. So Australia have won the semi-final one on the basis of the press. Cyprus second, Serbia third, Czech Republic fourth, Greece fifth. Iceland surprisingly in sixth. Hungary, San Marino, Georgia, and Belarus in the top 10. So that's what we think. And sadly, Montenegro didn't get a single point, if this is correct. And Finland only got 2. And then there's quite a gap to Poland, who are third bottom. I'm going to come to Nicholas next for his view. I mean, we'll be talking about Denmark next week, but you know, absolutely, your hope remains, right?
Definitely.
Love is forever and all that. What's your take on what you've witnessed thus far?
Yeah, I think in general it's been a good first run for everyone. I think there's no one who came out there and we think, oh, this is the worst thing we've ever seen. So I agree with Martin. Like a lot of what we're seeing is the same as we've already seen before. But I think that's a positive for many of them. I think my personal winner out of these is definitely Czech Republic, just because I was so worried that they were going to try to do something that was not true to Lake Malawi's character. And they've went and did exactly what I wanted them to do, which is something that's fun and can get the crowd involved. So I'm really happy for that. I think if I were to put my finger on one of the performances, I think I would go with Finland. I think the funny thing about Finland is that it seems like none of the people on stage like each other, because they have Sebastian at the front, they have the singer all the way like back on the main stage, and then they've just put the Darude like as far away as possible. When I saw the video at first, I couldn't find him. I was like, where is he? And then I realized on the second rehearsal, the second time I saw the rehearsal, right, he's on the little stair thing. I think if they just put everyone on the main stage, I think it would make so much more sense, because right now they're just like, it just seems like they don't want to be around each other, and I think that's a shame.
So I think it's really strange is there's always been talk around final tickets, and there's a max capacity in the stadium, and they put the green room outside the stadium in the room next door, and yet the stage to me looks massive. I was kind of thinking back, well, couldn't they have maybe done something like they did in 1997 in Ireland, when the stage was so, I mean, I'm thinking back to the year of the last time the UK actually won or did something of meaning. But the stage was so small, and it accommodated, I mean, Darude and Sebastian probably would have had a really, had a really good performance on a stage that size. But I agree with you. I don't think it's how it's set up. It's just the fact there's only three of them. And I'm not sure you can really get away with choreography and that type of style of song, can you? Because didn't Poland try it last year and it just didn't work?
Yeah, it doesn't really work. And I think the thing with having a dancer, it makes sense. I agree with what everyone's saying in the comments. They should have kept the box from the national final, because then they could keep everyone together and still have Sebastian do his own thing. I think in terms of the whole thing with small stage, we saw what happened in Vienna when we had a smaller stage. A lot of countries didn't know what to do. So they had very lackluster performances because they didn't know where to put all the props and everything. So I don't think that would have benefited anyone either.
Yeah. Gemma, we're going to come on to Australia in a bigger way shortly, but give us your view on what you've seen thus far.
Well, I mean, we've all heard my opinion on Australia, and I love it. My favourite of this section is probably Greece. I was really impressed with them. I'm really happy because Greece has finally gotten out of that cliched, like, stereotypical song that they would always send, with the person in the white and the fireworks. And I'm really happy. It's something different. It's really nice. So I'm pleased. I'm really pleased with Greece. I'm probably most disappointed with Belgium. That was one of my favourite songs, but I don't get the staging. It's a bit weird. Like, I don't know what he's wearing. All the backup dancers, like, his video clip it was just so nice and slick, and what they put on stage is not that at all. So,
well, I guess we sort of I guess we'll see over the next couple of days how it progresses, because given it's the first rehearsals, no doubt they'll change, they'll tweak, etc. Tom, so I mentioned Montenegro. We know you're a massive fan of S Club Juniors. So I'm keen to sort of get your view on how you think D-Mol have performed, given that the press room appear to give them nil point, and also what the chat room say.
Well, let's go with my view on Montenegro first of all. I'd say the rehearsal had a lot of potential there. I quite liked the fact that of their outfits, their background's really good. They've still got a little bit of work to do, but it's their first rehearsal. Absolutely solid, really good, and I'm confident they're going to qualify next week. Okay? Not even entertaining, not qualifying at the moment. That's it, as far as I'm concerned. Over in the chat room, we've got lots of love going for Georgia as well. Fantastic. I don't know if people have seen the video for that. Fantastic backdrop for Georgia. really does lift the song, and I think it gets across the meaning of the song quite well. Lots of love going around for that. On the losers' side, not a lot of love there for Finland. Finland, it's thought, is dead in the water. On top of that, we've got Mel saying that Portugal looked amazing and really enjoyed it. Greece's vocal being brilliant. Loads of love for Australia. Deep is loving Greece. And Elliot is giving a big shout out for Iceland as well. Coming across to the losers, there seems to be a little bit of agreement. It's not just Finland that's copying it. It's Belgium and San Marino. And do you know what? I can't understand it, because I saw Belgium's rehearsal this morning, and I thought, in actual fact, the presence of the backing singers and the two drums and everything actually really lifted Elliot's song. And I think he's got the potential to be a surprise package there in a week or so's time. As for San Marino, it's as catchy as hell. And let's be honest, guys, it's still 2-1 to qualify for the final. It's 66-1, okay, to finish in the top 5 on the grand final on Saturday night. There will be fire.
Wow, that was a lot. Are you actually putting money on Montenegro, Tom? I need to know this.
I am.
Yeah. I mean, does anyone know how wrong the press centre tends to get? I don't remember or recall them ever getting it right. Wasn't the UK in the top 3 in the final back 2017 with Lucy? I'm pretty certain she was.
I think there was. And also, speaking of 2017, because I saw that on Twitter earlier, when we saw the first rehearsals, they had Finland first. They had Finland, then they had Portugal. So, there is also a thing you mentioned in the beginning. It is the fans mostly in the press center, especially at this point. A lot of the mainstream media haven't arrived yet. It's mainly the bloggers and everything. And I think that has something to do with it, that a lot of us are still stuck in this mindset where even if we've seen something that wasn't like we expected to, we're still like, well, I have seen the music video and I've listened to the song a bunch of times, so I still have hope that it can change or whatnot.
Apparently after last year, somebody pointed out that Netta was actually out of the top 10 at one stage with the press. So that shows you how wrong they can be.
Well, that's sort of where I'm at with it, because I just wonder, we don't get to watch the whole rehearsals. The press people do. We will, a few of us will be press people in the next few days. I guess we'll get to experience it then. But my experience of it in the past has been subjective, and ultimately it's a fan view, the way I see it, at least anyway. But let's wait and see. I must talk about Australia, though, because I'm very, very excited. I gave Australia 12 points the week before last, 10 points on Friday night, and lo and behold, Australia are now number 1 with the press people. So I'm going to say the press people know what they're talking about. I was joking before. Australia to win. Denise, can Australia win Eurovision?
I think they can. I really do think they can. I think, they're going to do really well. I think the staging is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. I think, poor old Dami, she got robbed into second place by Ukraine, I think, a couple of years ago, in Stockholm, wasn't it? And I just think that she can do it. I just think there's going to be a few shocks, Stuart. I seriously think there's going to be a shock or two. And I think people like, much as you all rave about Iceland, I don't think it's going to figure at all. I really don't think it's going to figure. And I think we're going to get people creeping up on the rails that are totally going to change everything. I really do. And the betting, as Martin said, I don't know, or somebody said, the betting's going up and down like you wouldn't believe it. So it's a tough call. It's a really tough call. And this is just the first rehearsal.
Yeah, absolutely. Martin, look, you kind of mentioned Australia earlier, so I'm coming back on you on this. You have been a large supporter of the Australian song for quite some time. Are you now more of a believer than you once were, or are you still maintain your position that this is top 5 and increasing in its chances to do even better than that?
Yes, I must admit, it's now designed for the venue. I think there was obviously an issue with I know that Kate has said that she decided to change it quite early on from when she won, But I suspect they looked at the venue and thought it's not going to work. And now it looks really balanced. You've got two of, is it Strange Fruit, I think, are the people that the troupe that do this poll thing, and one on either side, and Kate doing it as well. I mean, wow. And apparently the camera angles just makes it look as though they're all floating through space. So it is going to be, you know, one of the most advanced staging that we've probably ever seen at Eurovision. I would think it's going to be up there. And in a year where it is potentially so close, why not? You know, I mean, there's probably at least, you know, there could be up to 10 different entries this year that could win because it is that close. There's no Loreen, no Emily DeForest, no, you know, nobody who everyone's going to go, yeah, they're going to win. Who's going to come second, sort of thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think it really is open, open to open. So we know that you're championing Tamta. It's the first time I've heard you be even the slightest bit critical of Tamta since we started doing these shows. But you started off talking about Kate Miller-Heidke and her chances. Are you now at a point where you're thinking Australia could be a winner for Eurovision 2019?
Look, I'm gonna say the thing. I think people think that I support Cyprus just because I'm from there. That is a factor. But
We know you don't, Oyben. We know you don't. We know that it's completely.
I've had my off years. Okay? I had my off years, the years that I take a break. But then coming to Australia, I really like it. I wish that Australia could win this year, right? But I really don't see. Of course, look, it's Australia, high likely gonna finish top 10. And top 5 is a slight success. Top 2 is a success for Australia, and I think she's gonna rank somewhere between 1 to 5. But I really don't think it's gonna be either 1 or 5.
Thank you, Urban.
Sorry.
Nicholas, what do you think on Australia's chances? And then we're going to come to Gemma for her thoughts.
I think there's possibility. I think everyone's said it. This is such an open year. This is definitely the most open year that I've ever experienced in the years where I haven't just been following the show casually, where I've been following the rehearsals and everything. I think because I was I didn't like her performance at all when she did the national final, Australia Decides. I didn't like it because, you know, we've mentioned it. I still think of the whole demon pogo stick lady, which we talked about back when she won. I think what they've done here is that they've taken the concept that they had and said, okay, we're gonna turn it all around. We're gonna figure out how can we actually make this work. And you know what? They made it work. And if it looks like everyone says that it's like they're floating in space, then you know what? It puts the message of the song across, which I don't think the first version of the staging did, but this one does. So it has the right message. It has something that catches your attention, and it has great vocals. That sounds like a Eurovision winner, so it may as well could be.
You've got me really excited now, Nicholas. I've got to say, I'm thinking I should have put money on 100 to 1 like I did with Cyprus last year. All of a sudden, the first rehearsals come. It's down to 50 to 1. Gemma, are you getting excited? Could this be her first Australian win?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm trying not to think about it too much because, you know, if you build up too much hope and then it falls to pieces, I don't even want to think about that. But what has sort of been rolling around like the Australian Facebook, like Eurovision groups and what have you, is that finally Europe is seeing what we all saw at Australia Decides. Because when we were there, like, I mean, when I first watched it, I just stood there with my mouth open just watching. Wasn't even like singing. We all knew the song, but I was just like, you know. So I think that's finally Europe is catching on to what we all saw and we all knew was going to happen and what was going to come, because we knew we were in safe hands with Kate. I really hope we do. I hope we do better than Isaiah. If we don't, I'll be upset.
I think it's nailed on, isn't it?
God, I hope so.
I mean, look, I loved it. I loved that song. I really did. But, you know, the first rehearsal, it's funny because you think back to the first rehearsals you ever saw, he was completely off kit. Was he ill? Was that the reasoning as to why he was
supposedly.
Yeah, and plus he's a very young guy, 16, wasn't he, or something? So, that plays into it as well. But no, you are in great safe hands with Kate Miller-Heidke. I think well, I've said all along, it's been my winner from day one. I must admit, Czech Republic have squeezed in slightly ahead, in my opinion, but that's just me. I'm certainly top two. Right, we're at the end. So I just want to go through the panel one more time and just ask them who they thought has won their view on the press poll, the first semi-final, first round of rehearsals. Denise?
It's got to be Australia.
Thank you, Denise. Gemma?
I'm in Australia. But if I wasn't voting for my own country, it would be Greece.
Martin, your view?
Well, based on those tiny snippets, it would be Australia.
Australia, looks like it's Australia then. Nicholas?
Still Czech Republic for me.
Czech Republic. Oben?
Cyprus.
Tamta. Fuego. And we're going to come to Tom. Tom, what's your view and what are the chat rooms saying?
Chat room, again, just lots of love for Australia, basically. There's a couple of comments on Iceland as well, being the sleeper hit, the fact that it could get the Lordi effect, although I think that could be a bit blunted by Tamta's rehearsal, looking at what she's got in store. For me, the winners on the rehearsal, the ones that I see at the top, it's Australia, but also
Montenegro.
Literally level with that was Serbia. I loved the Serbian rehearsal. Brilliant.
Yeah, big fan of Serbia. She's a lovely girl as well. We interviewed her over in Amsterdam, didn't we, Tom? She's fantastic. So best of luck to her. And it's really beautiful. That string section at the beginning is awesome. Really like it.
It's the song, but also I think it just appeals to that because it's that massive kind of galaxy, swirling kind of galaxy behind her.
Yeah.
And I think that just works so well.
But in closing, we've been waiting on Eurovision to deliver something different. We've had everything through the years. We've had people skating, we've had people sort of throw themselves around, we've had drums banging, we've had all sorts going on. It was finally time for someone to fly, wasn't it? Let's be honest. That's the one thing Eurovision hasn't had, somebody flying. Now we've had it. What on earth are we going to have next? God only knows what the semi-final 2 first round rehearsals are going to show and bring. Wow. And we've not even got on to Conan from Portugal. And wow, what a performance from him also. Listen, this has been an impromptu show this evening, half an hour. We're pretty much at time's up. Keen to thank my guests for joining us. Thank you, Denise.
Good night, all.
Thank you, Gemma, for joining us. I will see you in a couple of days in Tel Aviv.
Can't wait.
Sorry, there's slight hints of sarcasm, I think. There.
Oh man, we're meeting in a bar. You know it.
Right on. And same with Martin. Me and Martin actually happen to be on the same flight, so I'll see him in a few days as well.
Yeah, see you there at Luton first.
Yeah. Thanks again, as always, Nicholas.
Thank you. It's been great as always.
Thank you, Oben. Lots of love for all the stuff you did on our Instagram, Oben. If you don't know, Oben is now controlling our Instagram account. Give him lots of love and and do whatever to his posts. Write nice comments.
Thank you, everyone, and vote for Tom.
Oh, hang on.
Don't forget.
And I've just to show even more love, I muted him. Go for it.
No, you didn't. I was just saying thank you, but I'm just taking it back. I'm just keeping it short and saying don't forget to vote 01 Tamta replay Cyprus.
Absolutely. And finally, Tom, what's the crack in the chat room?
Do you know what? There's been just lots of, as I said earlier, lots of love for Australia, lots of love for Greece, lots of love for Iceland. And you know what? As well as thanking the guests, let's thank the chat room as well, Stuart, because impromptu show and the chat room's been there with us. It's been as busy as ever as we enter Eurovision high season.
Yeah, I just want to make a shout out actually to my good friend Mel, who I've known for quite some time. She's in the chat room tonight, and she's now regretting her decision not to come to Eurovision. I'd just like to make the point, Oben won't be going to any of the shows, Mel. Get on a plane, come out to Eurovision, let's have a party. So, Tom, talking of shows, when's the next show? We've got a show booked for Wednesday. Did I read on the chat room you want to do an impromptu show maybe Tuesday?
Oh, do you know what, Stuart? I think we've set the ball rolling. Tuesday, 7:30, that's 8:30 Central European time, live on YouTube, looking at semi-final 2, the first rehearsals, looking at the winners and losers. Let's get that train leaving the station, all aboard the Eurovision fun train. Then, of course, Wednesday, normal show, 9 o'clock British time, 10 p.m. Central European time. Again, the duels, but no votes this week. So, unfortunately, Stuart, the scoreboard's going to have to go.
Oh no!
I fulfilled my lifelong ambition of being Jon Olasan for 3 weeks, Tom. What can I say? I'm happy to move on.
Well, I think we should get some more voting because I reckon I wouldn't like you to lose your kind of touch with it. You know, maybe that could just be the run through.
Well, I'm not doing French again. Anyway, I just noticed Mel's just replied to my comment in the chat room, put "Don't tempt me." Mel, we are tempting you. In fact, I'm going to double dare you. Come to Eurovision and have fun with me, Oban, Gemma, and Denise, and whoever else, Martin, and you name it. Anyway, that's been tonight's show. Quick half an hour. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you Tuesday now and Wednesday, and then pretty much all the time throughout Eurovision. We love you. We appreciate you. Click the like button. Really important. Make sure you click subscribe, and we will see you very soon. Bye for now.
Bye.